In for 60 control inside a basket. I am the hope. Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for Progress. Today I never give up before, it's not in my blood. Don't give up. Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for Progress. Today I never give up before, it's not in my blood. Don't give up. Please don't give up.
We have had a government that has been very disrespectful.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for Progress. Today I never give up before, it's not in my blood. Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for Progress. Today I never give up before, it's not in my blood. Don't give up. Shore, gazing wonder, it's so rich and rare. Earth's life, all these things we do extol healthy lives of light. Give share the Lord's love. Dominica, God has blessed me with a climbing night bright. Pastures green and clouds of beauty filling all with your delight. And a people strong and happy, full of irreverent fear, we ever seek to praise thee, for he sits so rich and come before songs and stars of this champion play. Strive for honor, songs and stars, do the right, be firm, be fair. Toil with consent and must prosper, sound the call in which everyone rejoices. Oh, each and each one.
The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the Lord's house forever.
On vanity, hear me now. To the ghetto youths, to the single mothers, to the fathers that still I try. We salute you. Big up the real hard working people. Some man gets out work with a big paycheck. Look on the poor and show disrespect. Them say you're lazy, that's why you're there so low. But them never walking out the shoes where you know. You rise early morning before the sun. Sweat on your brow till the day is done. Still the bills while high, the struggles stay real. But your heart's strong like iron and steel. Hey, big up the struggle and still a fight. Big up the workers through the darkest night. Now hear them say, you know they're on the top. Hold firm, your blessing can't stop. Salute the mothers, salute the man. Push through the system, do what you can. Them can judge success by the car where you drive through. Greatness is all you survive. Society trick we with vanity game. Tell we success is the money and fame. But enough people rich and them souls still broke. While the humble man spread love like smoke. Them never tell me no. To the ghetto youths, to the single mothers, to the fathers that still I try. We salute you. Big up the real hard working people. Some man get that work with that big bitch. All right, that is it. That is it. A special greetings and welcome to all of you locked to queue at this time. The 13th night of December 2025. Welcome to all of you on the live feed as well.
Welcome to the United Progressive Parties program right here on Q. So yes, tell Lou to tell Sue, tell Paul to tell all that the United Progressive Party program is on. And that is how we want to get you started here this evening. We basically paid homage already to country. And we ask for his divine intervention tonight. And we are now bigging up all the struggling people in Dominica this time in sound. So whether you're in the north, the south, the east, or the west of this blessed rock called Dominica, our indigenous people call her Whitey Kubuli, welcome. It's already 12 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock, not just in Dominica, but in the regional space in which we live. So those of you in the region as well, good evening to you. Yes, big up to you guys out there. Those of you further afield, greetings and welcome as well. So this program started last week, folks. And so tonight is the second edition of this very formidable program right here on Q. New things are ahead. Positive things ahead. Progressive things are ahead. So in just a while, we're going to open up those telephone lines. They are 449-3095, 3096, 3097. Just in case you have a digi line, 616-4257. Those of you overseas that want to contribute, your number, your magic number, 305-432-9624. Mr. Joshua Francis, attorney at law, started last week in a very brilliant form. And so he's here again this week. Just before we open up these lines, Josh, good evening to you, my brother, in a very special way. And how are you?
Good evening, Lofty. Good evening, Dominica. Good evening. Bonjour tout le monde. Comment vous avez Mon café bien, Lofty. Vous avez bien?
Bonjour, bonsoir.
Vous avez parlé pas toi?
Un peu.
Oh, pas tellement mauvais.
Un peu.
Ah bon. Lofty, it's always a pleasure to be here to interact and engage with our brothers and sisters, especially at this time.
Yeah, man. So, Josh, basically, this program, we started it last week. How are the feedback so far?
Very
How's that
positive. Very, very positive, Lofty. I've had people trying to get to me via WhatsApp, direct calls, through Facebook, paying attention and wanting to join the movement. Because as we said last week, this is a movement. It's all inclusive. Mm-hmm. It is by the people, with the people, and for the people. It is we, Dominica. This party is a platform for everybody, because we believe in inclusion, and we understand that we have a journey to complete. Our objective is to cause a change of government, and we shall not relent. We shall endure till the end. So let me take this opportunity, Lofty, as you would have said before, to thank all our listeners, both here and abroad. Of course, we have listeners on Facebook platform, YouTube, yes. Listeners at their home as we speak, having their dinner. Let me shout out the people of the Roseau South constituency, the people of Egliston, Jodel, Bath Estate, Emzal, Loubier, Walhouse, Castle Comfort, Newton, Melville Battery, and Silver Lake. I hope that you're having a good one. Of course, a special good evening to the people of the Kalinago territory, those who are listening, the people of Marigot, Portsmouth, Vickers. How are you doing this evening? The people of Roseau North, Roseau Central, the people of St. Joseph, Salisbury, Kumazoka Fair, Salisbury, the people of Wesley, the people of Cottage, the people of Calibishi, the people of Granby, Petit Savant, Soufriere. How are you all doing this evening? Lofty and I are here with you this evening. I hope that you're all having a good one. You know, as they say, sit and let us have a very good program here this evening.
Mr. Joshua Francis, thank you very much, my brother, indeed. All right, folks, it is your time now. Those telephone lines 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. DG line 616-4257. Overseas line 305-432-9624. Just in case you want to contribute here in terms of telling us you are out there listening to the program tonight. Brad compliments the United Progressive Party in Dominica. We're going to take a little more of this one, wait for your calls, and then get into the meat or the thick of things tonight in terms of the discussion to come. Vanity game. Tell we success is the money and fame, but enough people rich and them so still broke. While the humble man spread love like smoke. Them never tell you about the leaders corrupt. Or the system designed to keep you locked up. It's not cause you're lazy. Let's go to the telephone lines. They are already going. Caller, yes, good evening to you. You are on the United Progressive Party program tonight. Welcome.
Okay, good night. I'm so within the house, and thanks to you guys for giving us hope to make sure that we have a better and a united Dominica. Thank you very much for hosting that program and making us feel some form of comfort in Dominica. And Salisbury, no exception. Good night.
All right, Salisbury, no exception. Thank you very much. First caller again. You did it last week. You're doing it again this week from Salisbury. Jean Bowie, good evening to you. Josh, did you miss out Bowie people in your introduction?
No, I said Salisbury.
Oh, Salisbury.
But I suspect the people of Salisbury want to be special. So good evening, Mun Bowie, Kumazoka Fair, the hardworking independent people, the heart of Dominica, the soul of Dominica, the land of freedom. I hope everybody is having a good one, a good night thus far.
So yes, all the struggling people of Dominica, we know there are many, many of you out there. Big up to you guys. Don't give up hope, huh? Better things, greater things are ahead. So we'll take about 3 more minutes on that line, because there's much food, much information tonight to be dispensed. So all of you in the hospital at this time, those of you who are sick, the shorting at home, we pray God's blessing on you guys. And the girl to the home for the infirmities in Dominica, our elderlies, good evening to you. Through the darkest night, don't care them say you're not up on the top. All firm, your blessing can't stop. Salute the mother, salute the man. Push through the system, do where you can. Judge success by the car where you drive. Greatness is how you suffer. All those of you who are grieving at this time, pick up the real ones. The taxi driver, the market vendor, the youth where also for the school fee. The mother where you pray upon bended knee. Give up your time and go come. Yes, no give up your time and go come. And that time is now. That time is now, Dominicans. Time to take back our country, huh? That is what this program is all about in terms of, just giving you that encouragement. Josh, again, as we move into another gear, let's leave the introduction line for now. Let's get into some matters of, importance, really, information tonight. Where and how do we want to start tonight, Josh? Good evening to you again.
Thank you, Lofty. Well, first and foremost, let us give thanks to the Most High. I'm happy that we started this program with a prayer. Without the Father, we are nothing, and we're not going to go anywhere. I suspect somebody wants to get hold of the program here.
Someone is a bit late, but they say rather late than never. Caller, yes, good evening to you. You are on.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
Hello, Mr. Francis.
Hi, good evening.
Hello,
good evening.
Mr. Gira. Good program.
Where are you calling us from, ma'am?
Yampis.
Yampis. Yes, Yampis. Thank you very much. Yampis, Josh.
Yes, Lofty. So I was saying we want to give gratitude to the Most High for another day, another evening. This is the evening the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and let us be glad in it. Lofty, a lot of Dominicans are excited about the emergence of United Progressive Party. There is a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, and a lot of visitation on the UPP website. The last time we were here, Lofty, we spoke about the United Progressive Party launching its website. That has been done. And I must say, the traffic on the website is amazing. For a party that was just born, a party that just came on the scene, having committed people, I can say to you, I'm very, very satisfied with the positive response that Dominicans are given. We have a website, so I just want to share with the public that they can go on the website. It's a very interesting website. It provides excitement as far as giving hope to the people of Dominica, and it has certain features which are very peculiar. So right now, as I speak, I just went on the website. You can get onto the website. Those who are listening, you can use your smartphone or you can go on your computer, laptop, tablet, whichever device you have, and you want to type in www.uppdominica.com.
Josh, say that very, very slowly, Josh, because the people, I want them to get it in terms of the where they can find the website information by typing in. What was that again?
www.uppdominica.com.
Okay, so it's triple W,
Yeah, so that takes you straight
triple
to
W.
Dominica. You know, triple W dot UPP Dominica.com.
Okay, folks, so you're hearing it out there. It is www dot, just to reiterate Josh's point here, www dot, some people say triple W dot, make sure you put that dot right there, UPP, that is for the United Progressive Party, Dominica.com, right? Right, Josh?
That is correct. That is correct. So once you get into that site, you will take note. There will be a pop-up. There is a pop-up, and that pop-up is saying, go and get confirmed to vote. If you are not confirming to vote, you have not registered to vote, pay attention to when the window for registration to vote opens, because we as a party, we're encouraging people to take the opportunity to ensure that their names are on the voters list, the electors list. So whenever the bell is rung for an election in Dominica, an opportunity will be granted to each and every person who is qualified to vote. So that's the first thing that's going to pop up, an encouragement to reconfirm and to register to vote. Hopefully, within the next few days, the website will provide information as to where the confirmation centers are, because I've had a number of people up to this evening asking me, where are they supposed to go and get confirmed to vote? I went to do a little transaction at a business place, and I met a Kalinago young lady who says, look, I want to follow you all. I need to confirm to vote. And she asked, where in Bataka does she need to confirm to vote? I did not have the information, but I'm promising Dominicans that hopefully next week, the website will have the names of all the confirmation centers in Dominica, and therefore, should you be desirous of getting registered or confirming to vote, that opportunity will be granted to you. As we speak, Lofty, the registration process has been suspended, and we have been given reasons to buy the electoral office. So we're hoping that within the next few weeks, that Dominicans who are eligible and qualified to register to vote will be able to register to vote.
So Josh, basically, promises made, promises kept. You spoke about the website last week, and this week that is breaking news. The United Progressive Party website is up and running, and persons can go there and check for themselves. And as you said, the information, in terms of confirmation, is there, asking persons, pleading with persons to get confirmed.
Yeah, definitely. We are aware that there are a number of issues surrounding the confirmation process. And tonight we're not going to really speak to it.
Yeah.
But at the core of the discussion, we want people to take the opportunity to confirm to vote. As you know, to confirm to vote, you must have a valid driver's license, And when you say a valid driver's license, it's not just having the license, but a license which is valid, meaning that you have paid your license fees and you're eligible to be a driver on the roads in Dominica. You also need a valid social security card or a Dominican passport. Now, some people do not have any of the three. We have put on public record that if anybody whatsoever requires assistance, do not hesitate to send us a message. We'll find a way to assist. Again, the website provides the public the opportunity to engage the party, and we'll come to that. But I just want to place on record that the United Progressive Party encourages people to get confirmed to vote. And as soon as the registration process commences or recommences, we will be facilitating registration of the young people and those who are eligible, never registered to vote, to go out to vote. We want to go on a campaign to encourage a mass registration, because in as much as some of us may have issues with this government, until and unless we seize the opportunity to vote when that time comes, we would not be adding value to a change of government. So we're going to go on a political revolution to ensure that as many Dominicans register to vote. So go out there, get confirmed to vote, and let us wait until that election comes. And when I say wait, I'm not saying that we are to stop the process, because this is a journey. But Lofty, going back to the website, there are 7 tabs on the website. So when you get onto the website, you will see that there's information about the party. So we have one tab, one page dealing with the party. We have another page with news and statements. So we'll get an opportunity sometime tonight to talk about what made the news this week. Our website provides news and statements. So we had a press release last week. It is on the website. And we will have another press release next week. Maybe every week we may have a release, because we want to stay in tune to what's happening in Dominica, and we want to enlighten our followers. We want to enlighten Dominicans as to what's happening as far as governance is concerned. Now, there's another page, events and training. So as we speak, the United Progressive Party has 2 events one event before the year ends, and that is on the 20th of December in Crayfish River. We are going there to have a social sponsored by the United Progressive Party. The purpose of that event basically is to bring our Kalinago brothers and sisters into a happy environment where we're just going to have some fun. We'll try to put away our stress and to engage and interact with each other. Then there's another page that says contact the party. So again, anybody who wants to reach out, who has a concern, a question, a statement, the website provides that opportunity where you can contact the party. For example, if I click contact the party, it provides a page where it says here, get in touch, sign up to volunteer with UPP Dominica. You can contact the party directly via WhatsApp or direct call 277-6272. Or you can email the party.
Take that number again, Josh.
That is
slowly. 277
767 277 6272. So you can send a WhatsApp, you can call directly, whichever you prefer. And you can also email the party. You can email the party at info, that is INFO, at uppdominica.com.
All right, indeed. Josh?
Or you can, yes, Lofty, or you can, the page provides the opportunity for you to contact the party directly. So if you wish not to WhatsApp, call, or send an email, there is a page where you can put your first name, your last name, your email address, your phone number, and you can type out whatever concern you have and send it directly to the party. I assure you that the party secretary will respond immediately or at the earliest possible time.
Okay, indeed. Well, George, very, very useful, very vital information so far in terms of the website where the United Progressive Party is concerned.
Yeah, well, definitely, Lofty. And we just started. I mean, it's an exciting website. It's very simple, but it is informative and it's engaging.
I was just going to ask you whether it's user-friendly.
Very user-friendly, very organized. You know, there are some older people who are very good with those gadgets. So we took that into consideration. We took into consideration everybody. We tried to put the website in a manner that nobody would be left out.
Mhm.
And that is one of the principles of the United Progressive Party. As I said, it's all inclusive. We're not leaving anybody out. Um, Lofty, there's also a page, donation page. When you click on donations, it says here, donate, support the party. Donations keep progress moving. Your donation turns support into action. Contributions help UPP train canvassers, keep our website running, support our candidates, and do the day to day work of holding the government accountable. These are the tools needed to build a serious, citizen driven political movement. Find our monthly and one time support options here. So we provide options. Monthly, you can provide $50. All right. Whether again we have $50. It could be US. It could be EC. It could be Canadian. All right. There's also a donation button where you can pledge $250. Now talking EC. If you want to put it into US, even better. And then we have another donation page where you can contribute $100. So these are three options as far as the fixed donations. But of course, it also provides the option. It says choose how much to donate. All right. So it's not like we're imposing on our followers.
So if somebody want to contribute $5, they can.
If somebody wants to contribute $5, they can. But I'm really happy that this page provides the opportunity for the public to support us, because like any entity, we require financial resources, and that resource is going to come from the people, because our mission here is not for us, it is for Dominica. So we're asking Dominicans, especially those in the diaspora, do not hesitate to make those contributions, because Lofty, thus far, we have certain things to do. You would remember we have a raffle to conduct before the year ends. The proceeds from that raffle will be used to purchase a dryer for the Dominica Infirmary. And that's the amazing thing. Our first step out to raise funds would not be for the party's operation, but rather it is for charity. It is for the Dominica Infirmary, which requires financial assistance. As you know, like the Grotto Home, Dominica Infirmary gets a subvention from the government, but that subvention is very limited, and they continually have to be asking for assistance from the public. And we heard them, because we members, the executive members of United Progressive Party, we have trained ourselves to listen. That's a very important element in our leadership. Listen. And we heard Dominica Infirmary, and therefore we have decided to use the proceeds from that raffle, which will be held sometime later in the year. We will inform the public to buy the proceeds would be used to buy a dryer. So I am taking this opportunity to urge our listeners here,
And
go
as,
out.
and as you on that note, Josh, a gentleman pledged some funds. I think the Wednesday we were here with Matt, and he did made good on his pledge.
Yes.
And so I want to thank that gentleman and the many other persons who may be out there who may be willing to assist the party as well.
Yes, and of course, I support you. I endorse that message, Lofty. So as I said, we need the support. Really, the support is for the people. That is not for our own good and for our benefit. That is for the benefit of the nation. So once again, if you go on the website, and you should go on the website, as we speak, pull out your smartphone and type uppdominica.com, and there are 7 tabs, 7 pages. You will see the area for donation. Of course, we want you to know about our party. That's very important. It's like having a relationship with you. We want to know you better. Likewise, we want you to know us. And the opportunity is there for you to know us. Just go on the website. You get some information. As I said, one of the pages talks about the party. Another provides news and statements. Another provides events and training. And then you can contact the party. You also have a donation page. And then if you hit on leadership, this page is under construction. And also, this is what I want to tell the public, and I'm very excited about that page. There's a tab called the Transparency Dashboard, the Transparency page. That page is going to provide the financial statements of the United Progressive Party. Now, the reason why I'm so excited about that page, Lofty, is because we have had significant concerns about one, how political parties raise funds, two, the source of funding, three, the lack of transparency and accountability, four, more so, the reluctance of the government to enact or legislate campaign finance legislation. The United Progressive Party is leading by example. No other party in Dominica has expressed intention, far less, to provide transparency as far as raising funds are concerned. So every penny that we obtain will be accounted and will be disclosed to the public, because we want to start, or we have started, on a footing of transparency. We believe God likes cleanliness, He loves transparency and accountability. So the United Progressive Party has that page where we will provide our financial statements. We have nothing to hide. We have no secret. We understand that the person who provides the money is an influencer. We understand that the people who provide big money oftentimes can be decision makers. We do not want to be like that. We want to tell the public, this is what we raised and that is how we spent our money. I believe this is very important, because what we want to do is to provide pillars and platforms to show Dominicans that should, or when we get the opportunity to be in government, that is how we're going to get things done. And transparency is a big thing for me personally.
And also, Josh, on that note, just to complement what you're saying, there some persons may want to give anonymously. What is the party's take on that as well?
Well, the thing about the page, if someone were to go on the page to provide to provide financial support, the page does not, the website does not reveal the person's name.
Okay.
So we're not going to reveal the names of donors, because we understand not only in Dominica but universally, sometimes people prefer to not disclose their name for one reason or the other. Sometimes because of fear of reprisals, political reprisals, victimization, and so on and so forth. And for some people, they are humble.
Yeah.
Some people, when they donate, they prefer not to have their name mentioned, and that is fine.
Some people believe in the principle of the biblical principle, when the right hand does something, the left should not know.
Well, and you are so right, Lofty. And with the United Progressive Party, I can tell the public, since we created that party, we took a rest to monitor what was happening in the political space until we decided to get in. Over the last week, I have had a number of Dominicans reaching out to me seeking assistance. I cannot afford to assist everybody, but for those that I've been able to assist, I have done so, and I will not disclose to the public, because I do adhere to that principle. When one gives with his left hand, his right hand should not know. The thing about politics is that people try to get glorification by showing that they help somebody. And that really is inconsistent with one of the precepts of Jesus, which is when one gives with his left hand, the right hand should not know. So Lofty, the website is a place where Dominicans can engage us. We are not always on the radio, we are not always available, but the website is always available. So go out there, read up about the United Progressive Party, and make your donation. Over the next few days and weeks to come, the website will evolve to become even more engaging.
What about persons, Josh, if they want to become members of the party?
Well, that's a very important question, Lofty, and the website provides for that. Where it says contact the party, there's another page. Let me just get that right there. It says about the party. So when you read up on about the party, it says you can join our emails list. So if you want to receive monthly emails, weekly emails, because we're going to be doing something like that, we're going to be very steady in keeping our followers and members abreast of what's happening. So Lofty, that's an important question. The party site provides for persons to sign in to become members, to also sign in to get information. So whilst we're on this, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you to those who were instrumental in constructing the website, which is still under construction. Lofty. So good things are happening with the United Progressive Party.
Indeed. All right. We have some persons on the live feed. They are taking in information. They are there with us. Brother Peter Carbon says, listening with interest. Catherine George, good evening to you as well. She says, Loftus sounding like he has something extremely interesting to declare tonight. Catherine, good evening to you. Whenever that time comes, you for sure, you of all persons will know. And Dominica, the will by extension will know. Yes? Josh, I'm always monitoring Facebook, sometimes. And there's a person who commented under one of your posts, and then that person said that Josh is the bravest politician in Dominica. How would you respond?
Well, maybe that is true. Not only Josh is the bravest politician, Josh has been the most open politician in Dominica. And if anybody wants to challenge that, we can have a discussion. Lofty, when I entered the political arena, I didn't quite understand the mechanics of politics. I presented myself as a servant of the people. I left law school in May of 2011. I worked for my former in-laws at Dye & Dyer for almost a year. And I moved on my own in November of I moved on my own in June of 2013, meaning that I opened my own practice.
Okay.
And in November of 2013, I entered the political arena. I had not really accomplished anything in law. I had just started the legal journey, but I saw the need to add value to the opposition movement, which has been trying to unseat this Dominica Labour Party. And I have always been open. I think I'm one of the few politicians who has actually brought my an entire family on the political platform. When I was being launched in Newton in sometime in 2014, I brought my entire family, my son, my ex-wife, and my daughter on the stage. I've never had difficulties in telling the world who I am. When I went through my personal struggles, my life was plastered on every billboard in Dominica. My name became a subject of discussion. There's nothing that Dominicans can say they don't know about Joshua Francis. They know the good and the bad. They have seen my falls. They have seen me rising. So I can say, indeed, I am very brave. But that bravery really rests on my fear for God. I'm a believer. I trust in God. I believe there is an almighty God. Of course, he's called by different names, but I do believe there's a creator. I do believe that if we have faith, if we obey him, he'll walk with us, he'll protect us, he will lift us. He also chastises as well, because as a child of God who is anointed, if you disobey, you can get chastised. So my bravery really is not secular, it is spiritual.
Indeed. Thank you, Josh. Let's just continue that list. There's Stephanie John Baptist saying good evening to you, my good folks as well in the Jimmy area. Anthony B says here, hey, Lofty, listening from Canada. Good job. He says, gentlemen, Alison PLT, Viva Mamo, James Cam, and others, you guys are listening. Brother Bruno says here, positive energy, gentlemen. My good friend Litham up in the Mount Prosper area. You're also there. Good evening to you in a very special way. Greg John Baptist writes, double homicide in Dominique again. I thought the police said they cleaned up the streets. Well, we'll get to that all-important conversation in terms of happenings tonight in Dominica, Greg, in just a bit as well. But thank you for being here with us. Anthony B says here, also provide more banking information so people can donate that way as well. So Josh, take note, also provide more banking info so that the people can donate as well. Thank you, Anthony, for your suggestion indeed. Brother Bruno coming back and say here, keep publicizing the website, gentlemen, so new listeners can know and visit it to engage. He says, thanks. Chiquito Thomas, always on the microphone. Good evening to you, my brother, in a very special way. Any of what I heard said there, Josh, you'd want to just respond to?
Yes, unfortunately, we cannot have a mobile banking account for the United Progressive Party. Last week, I said to the public that a political party in Dominica is not recognized as a legal entity. It is not incorporated, nor is it trading. A political party is recognized for a process, and the credit unions facilitate opening an account, but not the banks. So we do have a credit union account. I think last week I gave the account number.
Yes, you did.
I'm not too sure whether I have access to it now, but hopefully in the next program I can provide that account number for those who wants to doing it through the credit union. That is the National Cooperative Credit Union. I wish if we could have a mobile banking facility, because I am aware that a lot of Dominicans use mobile banking, but right now we don't.
You don't. Josh, just in case someone maybe listening at this time did not tuned in last week and maybe asking another party again, why a new party? Just go back there. Just rehash certain points that you drilled home last week. Why UPP this time?
Why UPP? First of all, I think this is divine. I think that, not I think, I know what I'm doing really is driven by the Almighty. I've always said that my steps are ordered by the Lord. When a few of us decided to form this new party, there were pushbacks and resistance to the idea, because some people felt that the political space is already crowded and that a new party would splinter the opposition even further. And I give consideration to critics, yourself, Loftus. But as months elapsed, we noticed that the opposition movement was fractured and appeared confused. And I know, and for every Dominican listening, we would agree that a divided home cannot prosper. God does not thrive in confusion. And the confusion in the opposition appeared to be ongoing without any hope that it would cease. And therefore, given that the opposition has been in the political wilderness for 5 consecutive elections, or 6 consecutive general election, we noted that it was important that we come or get into the arena to provide some leadership, focused leadership, to bring an inspiring leadership that would get Dominicans to understand the need to change this government. So we understand that some people may not like the idea that the United Progressive Party was birthed, but I believe that's one of the best things that has happened to opposition politics in Dominica, because the United Progressive Party is a modern party. By just talking about the website, Lofty, you can see it's a modernized party. The party also provides for an environmental secretary, and that is one of the issues that we're going to discuss tonight. The party also provides for term limits for leaders. No political party in Dominica provides term limits for its leaders. No political party in Dominica provides for an environmental secretary. No political party in Dominica provides for a green movement, a green vision, understanding that the world has evolved, that leaders throughout the world now want to reverse their policies to capture what was once in the Garden of Eden. In some cases, it is impossible for them to get back to the Garden of Eden because of irreversible damage done to the environment. But we see a vision. We understand that Dominica is the nature isle, not just of the Caribbean, but of the world. Dominica is one of the countries with the highest per capita pure drinking water in the whole wide world. Dominica is one of the few countries in the world where you find pristine forest, untouched, beautiful, fertile soils, a marine environment which is relatively clean. So having that in mind and realizing that the existing political parties have not placed adequate value on the environment, we felt that we needed to get into the space to provide a leadership to inspire Dominicans to move in a direction to safeguard and protect our environment and to provide a future for Dominica. A lot of our policies are modern and are different. So I believe that the emergence of the United Progressive Party is great for Dominica, and I'm very pleased that a lot of people see the importance of that movement, and they have been joining. At the end of the day, the political party is just a platform, Lofty. This is not a franchise. This is not owned by Joshua Francis. Franchises are owned by individuals, and individuals look for benefits in a franchise. The United Progressive Party is a platform to bring Dominicans to work together with a common goal to cause a change of government, but not just to change the government, to change the governance style, to change the way we do things, to change our mindset, to bring a meaningful development that will encompass everybody, the elderly, the single parent, the children in particular. The United Progressive Party provides special components in its constitution that captures the rights of children and the protection of children. We understand that the future belongs to the children. Once we pass 40, we are going. The children are coming. And the United Progressive Party is the champion for children. And over time, the public will appreciate what we have brought to the table in Dominica. And the party is growing very fast, Lofty, because the pillars of the party are based on transparency, based on righteousness, based on justice, based on accountability, based on inclusiveness. So I'm excited. A lot of Dominicans are excited. As we speak, please visit the website. The membership forms are on the homepage. If you wish to become a member of United Progressive Party, without any hesitation, you can go on the website and sign in as a member, or you can get to our office. Lofty, we do have a physical office that is on 10 Castle Street. Currently, we do not have a secretary. We had a secretary, but as we said, we had put the party on hold, and therefore we had to dismiss the secretary. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we will have a secretary, and you will be able to go into the physical office, the physical space of the party, where you can register to become a member of the party.
All right, Josh, thank you very much, folks. It is 8 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock. Remember, tonight is the Calypso Eliminations. So those of you who, after listening to a program tonight, you can get yourself to the Calypso Eliminations. 40 plus Calypsonians trying to vie for one of the 12 spots tonight in that all-important competition here tonight. Edmund Lloyd is saying here, good night, guys, listening from Milton, Ontario, Canada. What's up, Lofty? Keep up the good works. Blessings. Lloyd, thank you indeed. Alistair, Irish, your good folk or good partner from Bath Estate, saying he's always listening. And yeah, we have some more persons here basically just bigging us up here, Josh, tonight.
Yes, definitely. And Lofty, I'm not too sure whether those listeners tonight were listeners last week. So I just want to remind the public that the party's official color is orange. Orange. You know, somebody has already given a slogan. We have gotten a number of suggestions. So one of the slogans which have been suggested to us is, we are going to rearrange with orange. So
say that again.
We are going to rearrange
with orange.
With orange.
Okay.
So that's the party's official color. The party's headquarters, as I said, is on 10 Castle Street, Rosa Dominica. The party's mantra or vision is unity for progress. That is unity for progress. The party symbol is the bottle. Up to last night, somebody asked, why the bottle? We really had no choice. The electoral office provides symbols to parties. So if somebody wishes to form a political party, of course, certain criteria must be satisfied. And once that group is recognized as a political party, a symbol has to be given to the party by the electoral office. When we got recognized by the electoral office of Dominica, there were only two symbols available. That is the bottle and the knife. We chose the bottle. We felt that the knife would be offensive and that the bottle will be better. So I tell people, look, the bottle represents a bottle of water. That is what Dominica is known for, water. We have abundant, and it's not just water, surface water, fresh water, and water is life. So the United Progressive Party has that anointing. It has the water, it has the olive oil to touch every Dominican to bring that change for betterment, to touch the child, to touch the adult mother, the adult father, the adult brother, the adult sister, to touch the elderly, to touch everybody. And that is what we have started and we're going to continue, Lofty. So these are the basic things about the party. You know, we went through the party's constitution. We just touched on one or two things, you know. Of course, it's not possible to explore every area of the constitution of the party, but the party's constitution is found on the website. Again, you go to www.uppdominica.com and you will have access to the constitution of the party. You will also have access to the principles of the party, because the party has values. The party has basic principles on which we create our vision, we create our policies. The party also provides for a policy council. Anybody who has interest in making his or her contribution, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Loftus, you can reach out on the website so that we can accommodate you to provide policy advice, because this is really not, as we said, and I want to repeat, this is not just a few of us. This is Dominica's thing. So, take the opportunity, take the moment and join in, give your views. Say, as some people have done. I have had a number of people who said, well, Joshua, I want to make certain suggestions. There are people who made suggestions on the economy, and that's generally, but in specific areas. We have had people who made suggestions on environmental policies, on health policies, on social policies, because there are so many issues in Dominica that has not been addressed properly, and the United Progressive Party intends to provide proper focus on those areas. The lofty, as we go by, we're going to discuss health, we're going to discuss social issues as we speak. There was a double homicide up in the northern part of Dominica, I understand, in Savant Pie. The United Progressive Party is very concerned about the young men in Dominica. The United Progressive Party is very concerned about the fact that this current administration has not provided enough opportunities and facilities for the young people to thrive, for the young men to be encouraged. When we walk around Roseau, we see the number of young persons, young men again, who have fallen victim to drug abuse. The young men go to jail. The young men are before the court. The young men are dropping out of high school. So the United Progressive Party is very concerned about that. And of course, we want persons to be able to contribute towards policy formulation so that we can encompass those ideas and to help our Dominica.
All right, indeed. Thank you very much, Josh. It is 3 minutes to the hour of 7 o'clock. Josh, as you said, this party is a people-centered party, and so persons, they are there talking, they are commenting, they're asking questions.
Yes.
And yes, it's a people's party, and so let's get back to the live feed for some more questions here. Let me see this one here. Someone by the name of Viva Mamo asking here, can one be a dual member? Example, a member of the UPP and another party. Take a note of that question, Josh. Let me get to something else here. And Brother Tyron is asking something else here. He says, good night, gentlemen. Question. If there were to be a majority split between the UPP and other opposition party, would there be a coalition or two, or would we see a DLP government with a majority? He ends by saying the House, which would also be an interesting situation. Tyron, can you just tidy that up for me? But Josh, I don't know if you made sense of what Tyron is asking.
Yes, I do make sense. Let me say that the United Progressive Party believe in community development. Our philosophy is based on togetherness. Together we will build, together we will labor, together we will plow the land, together we will work in the vineyard. Likewise, together we will have joy. So we believe in community, and therefore we are prepared to work with other opposition forces with the intention to unseat the Dominican Labour Party. And in respect to Mr. Viva Mamos, or Mr. or Mrs. or Miss Viva Mamo,
can one be a dual member, UPP and another party?
Of course. Why not? We have dual citizens. I mean, there are countries in the world which does not allow for dual citizenship, but most countries allow dual citizenship. And a political party is a lesser entity than a country, and we have no difficulty in somebody being a dual member. The person wishes to be a member of one political party, the person is free to become a member of the UPP. I mean, at an executive level, what we would not want is a conflict of interest, because if we have somebody serving at an executive level in our party, and that person is also on the executive of another political party, that we will not entertain, because our party's vision have certain differences to that of other parties, and we would of course have political secrets. When I say political secrets, meaning that our strategy, that we will not be willing to share with other parties.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Josh. Folks, it is 8 o'clock on the money. Let's take a break at this time, and we'll be right back. Signal, where are you? Good evening to you guys out there.
So they can take advantage of your niceness. They love you when you're nice.
Bye to the old me, huh? Signal band.
Disappear. When things tight, they just reappear. Silly rabbit, tricks out for kids. How you always want and have nothing to give. Well, bye, 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 bye to the old me. Bye, 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 bye to the old me.
Dominicans, we should say bye 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 to the old us, huh? And new things are ahead. If you're tuning in at this time, you're about 1 hour late. But guess what? Rather late than never, they say. You're now tuned into the United Progressive Party's program on Q, the second edition, that is. Talking to the man Joshua Francis. Basically dispense a lot of information here tonight, especially read the website of the UPP. And you can plug in www, that is www.uppdominica.com. Again, it's www.unitedprogressiveparty uppdominica.com. Go to that page to see much more about that up and coming party. You can also email at info at uppdominica. And there's a telephone number attached, 277-6272. If you're calling out of Dominica, 767 before that, the area code 277-6272. That's the number to get into contact with the United Progressive Party. Vernice Warrington in the UK, you're up listening. Good evening to you. My friend from the Newton area, good evening to you. You say no name, no warrant, huh? I suspect a friend from Mount Prosper. You want to become a member? You're asking some very pertinent questions tonight. Joshua is here. And knowing the man Joshua, he's prepared. And we'll answer all your questions tonight. So Josh, this young lady from Mount Prosper is asking when was the UPP formed?
Well, I think it's sometime in 2023 we got recognition. Well, we started the movement, but we got recognized as an official political party in 2024. Yeah, I think I can't remember the exact date, Lofty, but it's sometime late in 2024 we got recognition. And as I said, we laid low because not that we chose to lay low due to the fact that some persons were resisting the movement. We were always interested in doing what is best for the opposition.
Hear the interpretation, Josh, someone gave me out there in the week whilst talking to them about the laying low period that you spoke of a while ago. Someone says, Love, when the party was registered, they took note. And the party went, on a down low, basically, and the person was wondering, what is happening. But at that time, as you said, there was much resistance from some sectors, some persons from the public. And so that person's interpretation was just in terms of why the party went low. It was to sort of put things in perspective, especially from a divine aspect of things. The person said, especially some of the individuals who pushed back against the idea of the registration of a new party. The person said, time had to elapse so that with time answers all things. And so here it is now, we are today, a year about thereafter, and things have seemingly gotten worse. So UPP now is sort of on the right track, in the right vein, basically, to come now and re-establish itself in terms of its original purpose.
Mhm.
And that was the person's sort of rationale of why he thought that the UPP had to take such, go a bit low.
Well, yes. Well, yes. Reflection is very important. And when we formed the party and we became legally recognized, we went to the Kalinago territory to plant the seed. And thereafter, a number of us had to reflect on whether we were proceeding with the movement or whether we were going to observe what was happening. Of course, we are not selfish. And that is why we have consistently told the public and continue to tell the public that we are willing to work with other opposition political entities, because any right thinking Dominican who wants to change a government would understand that coalition works. In some cases, coalition at government level fails because of one reason or the other. But where we are in Dominica right now, at this juncture, we are desperate. Desperate not in terms of not wanting to follow rules, protocols, and procedures to cause a change of government, but desperate to hastily bring an end to this political regime which is on Dominica's political throne. Dominica can do better. Dominica should have been more advanced, but because of certain persons in government, because of their greed, because of their lack of vision, because of the absence of the understanding. And it's so sad that certain politicians in government enter the political arena at a very young age. And you would believe that over time they would gain substance, they would get some kind of vision and would evolve. Unfortunately, they did not and have not, and we cannot wait for them to evolve. Hence, the United Progressive Party is providing another viable alternative for the people of Dominica to cause a real development process for us.
Yeah, and just to add to what you're saying, Ezra, some persons who are sort of fighting or pushing against the idea of a coalition effort. What got us here where we are today is a coalition effort.
Well, Lofty,
it may have strayed
Yes.
to something else or,
Yes.
or evolve into something else.
Right.
But the record will show that it was the Freedom Party and the Dominica Labour Party came together with some kind of understanding, Rosie Douglas and the other guys,
Charles Safari.
and bounced out the United Workers Party, which I must admit at the time was a working party.
Yes, yes. So right here we have precedent. We are where we are because of a coalition between the Dominican Freedom Party, as it was, and the Dominica Labour Party. And we believe that as we speak, should an election be called tomorrow, another coalition could do the same. They say what goes around comes around. It happened to the United Workers Party. The United Workers Party hopefully should be willing to work with other political parties to bring the Dominican Labour Party to its knees. Also, the United Workers Party, because a lot of the persons resisting really are members of the United Progressive Party. When UWP emerged in 1988, I'm sure there was also resistance, but the executive members at the time saw the need for the United Progressive Party and they emerged. So I don't understand today.
For the United Workers Party.
Right, United Workers Party. I don't understand today. You have the emergence of a new party. And the very people who formed the party, the United Progressive Party in 1988,
United Workers Party.
United Workers Party, sorry, is saying, no, you shouldn't form this party. No, it's baffling. And more so, there are certain political players who have not been able to get the job done. If you give a man a job to build a house for you, and you sign an agreement with him that the house should be completed in a year, and a year comes, and he has not completed the house, you give him an additional 2 months. It's still incomplete. An additional 3 months, still incomplete. At some point, reasonableness will tell you to get another builder. And it sounds harsh on certain opposition figures, but the fact is they have not been able to get the job done. And Dominicans cannot and ought not to wait on incompetent persons to get the job done. If you can't get the job done, you can't get the job done. And to allow persons who can get the job done to get it done. But The people who are capable of getting the job done do not need permission from those who have been there trying to get the job done and they cannot get it done. We are moving on, Lofty. The people of Dominica, they are suffering in many ways. Lofty, look at the current situation in Dominica right now. We're just a few days away from the Christmas Day. And all we have to do is to make a qualitative analysis of where we are. We compare where we are now to several years. You would see a hustling, you would find the vibes in Roseau. You would find, some kind of bubble, some economic bubble, some economic excitement. We don't have that. We do not have that at all, because people are suffering. There's a serious cash flow problem for most Dominicans. We have the cars, we have the houses, but we do not have the money. Money is power. Money answereth all things, according to the good book. And that is one of the main issues affecting Dominicans. Of course, we have health issues affecting Dominica. And Lofty, I hope we spend some time on the environment. That's a major issue in Dominica right now. That is the talking point. This is a hot object in Dominica right now. And we want to share some light on what is happening at Dubois, the marine environment, the geothermal project, the cable car project, to name a few.
Yeah, and as I was telling somebody this morning, you, as you said rightly so, this debasting and the environment is the hot button item now on a number of Dominicans' lips. And when we took into consideration other matters, i.e., electoral reform, even the economy, some persons have their views on it based on their economic situation. A lot of persons, Josh, surprisingly so, have been rallying around the cause for the environment, and so that transcends party line. And we have heard a number of voices. We saw petitions out. Basically, Dominicans by and large agreeing on something. After all, and that is the environment.
Yeah,
and the protection thereof.
Yeah, Lofty, that the environment serves as a bedrock for civilization. From the beginning of time, we would not be here had it not been for the soil, for the water, for the plants, for the animals, for the ecosystem. What caused man to be here is because of the placement of those by the creator of heaven and earth. And most of us do not appreciate that the plants have a life, the animals have a life, the ecosystem is alive. Even the earth plates are alive because you have tectonic movements every year. That is what causes volcanic activities, earthquakes. Nature is alive. And if we do not appreciate nature, we cannot be in oneness with nature. It means that we're going to mismanage nature. And when we mismanage nature, we can cause irreversible damage to a country, to the point where our children to come will not be happy with us. And that is one of the reasons why so many voices are now being heard. And we're asking for more voices to be heard to cause this government to understand it is now too late for them, really, because the government never really appreciated the importance of the environment. The government has failed to follow regulations. The government has failed to follow laws and procedures to ensure that our environment is properly managed, especially given the fact that when we think of Dominica, we think of Nature Isle of the world. This is a brand that we have put out there. Sadly, whilst we say we are the Nature Isles of the world, our actions are saying otherwise. A simple thing like the garbage collection or garbage disposable issue in Dominica. If we have pride in our island and pride for nature, we will not be at that point where garbage disposal is a major issue. And I want us to play the address by the Minister of Tourism in respect to the Dubois situation, because I want to comment on that tonight. And the United Progressive Party will issue a press release on Monday. So Monday morning, the nation will wake up to a press release from the United Progressive Party responding to the Minister of Tourism concerning many projects which the government has or is undertaking right now, namely the marina at Portsmouth, the car cable project at Loda, geothermal project, and the the hottest button, the Dewash situation, the project at Dewash, which is linked with the construction of the international airport.
All right, Josh, let's see if in the interest of time we can pull up the voice, the statement of the minister. You comment, and then we open up the lines for some persons here to call in.
The Ministry of Tourism has noted recent public commentary regarding activities at Debrash and matters related to the Northern Marine Development by Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. While we welcome national dialogue on tourism, it is important that information shared with the public is accurate, responsible, and reflective of the full context of government action. As Minister for Tourism, I reaffirm that the protection of Dominica's natural environment remains a central pillar of our development agenda. Our rivers, reefs, forests, and marine ecosystems are not only national treasures, they are integral to our tourism identity and to the Nature Island brand we consistently safeguard. At the same time, a modern and competitive tourism sector requires investment, improved infrastructure, and sustainable development that creates jobs and expands economic opportunity for Dominican families. On Debrash, the government acted swiftly and decisively. The Prime Minister ordered an immediate pause in operations to facilitate a full technical review. The relevant authorities are assessing documentation, environmental considerations, and compliance with established laws. Any deficiencies identified will be addressed in line with best practice and national regulations. On the marina development, the government continues to monitor the project closely. We understand the importance of our dive sites and marine assets, both ecologically and economically. Reports of sedimentation are being reviewed by the competent agencies, and any required mitigation or enforcement actions will be taken to ensure the marine environments remain protected during construction. Dominica's development strategy has always paired progress with careful environmental management. Projects such as the International Airport and the Cabris Marina reflect our commitment to expanding access, enhancing the tourism product, and driving sustainable growth supported by strong regulatory oversight. Public discussion on tourism development must therefore be balanced and constructive. Selective or incomplete commentary can create unnecessary alarm and weaken confidence at a time when Dominica is strengthening its global visibility and securing meaningful investment in the sector. The government remains committed to transparency, continuous improvement, and active engagement with all stakeholders, tourism operators, environmental experts, and communities alike. We welcome collaboration that supports solutions, protects our natural heritage, and advances a stronger tourism industry for the benefit of all Dominicans.
All right, thank you very much. So, for those of you who are listening at this time, you just heard the voice of Dennis Charles. She's the Minister of Tourism in Dominica. That is Dennis Charles Pemberton, that is. And that was her response to the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association as it pertains to a statement that was put out by the DHTA on the concerns of the environment and many, many other Dominicans here and abroad. Josh, your take before we open up the lines.
I have to laugh. I have to laugh because so many misrepresentations and intellectual dishonesty by the Minister of Tourism. But before we dissect her statements, which the United Progressive Party will officially respond to. Hopefully, our press release will be in the public space as of Monday morning, this coming Monday. But for the benefit of the public, in view of the fact that they heard the Minister of Tourism, who responded to the Dominica Hotel Association, I want to read what she really responded to. DHTA raises urgent concerns over environmental threats from Dubanche mining activity and Northern Mariner discharge. Now, these are two projects which are ongoing, though the Prime Minister of Dominica has asked for the project at Dubanche to halt to provide consultation with the Concord people and Marigot people. The fact is, those projects have been on the cards and they have been going on. Roseau Dominica, December 11th, 2025. The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association is expressing deep concern over two unfolding environmental issues that pose significant risk to the Dominican natural assets, tourism products, and long-term sustainability. These matters relate to one, the reported impacts of mining operations in the Dubanche area, and two, the ongoing discharge of sediment-laden water from the Northern Mariner development into the sea, an action that has already affected several popular dive sites and threatens fragile coral ecosystems. The DHTA emphasizes that Dominica's environment is the foundation of its tourism industry, community livelihoods, and national identity. Any activity that jeopardizes water quality, coral health, or the integrity of natural species or species has far-reaching consequences for both the people and the economy. Reports from residents and stakeholders suggest that mining operations in the Dubanche area may be causing sedimentation, river contamination, and destabilization of surrounding ecosystems. The potential impact on the Kalinago community is particularly concerning. While reports confirm that activity in the area has been paused, the DHTA encourages the relevant authorities to conduct a transparent, science-based assessment of environmental impacts and to ensure that the required safeguards are fully considered. The discharge of sediment-laden water from the Northern Mariner project has resulted in reduced visibility and sediment settling across nearby reef systems. Dive operators and marine professionals have reported impacts to well-known dive sites, including One Finger, Five Fingers, Nadine, and Rose Garden, which are carried westward by prevailing currents. These reefs represent some of Dominica's healthiest and most resilient marine ecosystems, having withstood bleaching events, coral disease, and rising temperatures in recent years. They are essential to the dive tourism sector, support community employment in Portsmouth and beyond, and contribute significantly to Dominica's Nature Island brand. Sedimentation is known to smother corals and sponges, block critical sunlight, and reduce biodiversity. Even short-term stress can create a long-term or irreversible ecological impacts, underscoring the importance of robust sediment control measures during all phases of construction. Dominica's Physical Planning Act requires that development activities of this nature obtain prior permission and, where applicable, undergo an environmental impact assessment, a tool designed not to hinder development but to guide it responsibly by identifying risk and recommending mitigation measures. The DHTA believes that adherence to these processes supports both community well-being and the long-term success of development projects. The DHTA is calling on the relevant authorities in both instances for 1, clear communication with affected communities and stakeholders. 2, strong and consistent application of environmental standards for all development projects, whether public or private. 3, timely implementation of mitigation measures to prevent further harm to Dominica's rivers and reefs. 4, collaboration with environmental groups, marine biologists, dive experts, and local communities to ensure effective protection of our natural assets. 5, adherence to Dominica's planning and environmental processes, which are designed to help projects succeed while safeguarding the natural assets and support national development. These planning and environmental requirements, such as development permission and EIAs, that's environmental impact assessments, are vital mechanisms that promote transparency, early problem identification, and scientifically guiding decision making. They protect not only the natural environment, but also the developers, communities, and industries they rely upon it. That rely upon it, sorry. Dominica cannot afford to compromise its core natural assets, said Kitwani Ferrara, the president of the DHTA. Our rivers, reefs, and ecosystems are not only environmental treasures, they are economic lifelines. We believe that responsible development and environmental protection must go hand in hand. And we stand ready to work with government, developers, and all partners to support that balance. As a champion of sustainable tourism development, the DHTA stands ready to collaborate with government, developers, and communities to ensure that growth does not come at the cost of Dominica's natural heritage.
Yes, indeed. That was from DHC in terms of their concerns.
Right. So that is what the Minister of Tourism responded to. And to say the least, there are quite a number of misrepresentations and misconstructions in her statements. Lofty, that is pure rhetoric, which is completely disconnected from reality on the ground.
Yeah, Josh, let me just step in it. Let me just alert our listeners that and viewers as well, because we have some folks on the tube as well. In about 3 minutes time, 8:30, we're gonna have you engage with us right here. So Josh, yes, continue.
Yes, so I was just saying there is a disconnect between what the minister read and the reality on the ground. And I'm going to dissect her statements. So we're going to start up with one of the observations. She told the public that the environmental protection is a core pillar in the Dominican Labour Party government policies. The minister claimed that environmental protection from the central pillar of government policy rings hollow against the backdrop of current realities. Because, Lofty, we are where we are because this government has not been transparent and forthcoming with several elements concerning the construction of the international airport. Had it not been voices which rose against the project which is taking place at Dubois, we would not have heard from the government as far as what it has been doing at Dubois. There are questions which have been circling around. Is there an EIA? To the point where a citizen of Dominica, namely Miss Edwards, I can't recall her first name, but Miss Edwards.
Annie.
Yeah, Annie Edwards, took a matter before the court to force the government hands in answering a question as to whether there is an EIA. Because the construction of an international airport in any country in the world would require an EIA. I personally happened to attend a meeting involving Mr. Jaiziah Binwa, who represents CR5, that's a Chinese company which was subcontracted to construct the international airport, and MMCE, namely Anthony Hayden, who got the contract from Dominica to finance the development and construction of the international airport. And at that meeting, a question was posed to him. The question was, sir, is there an EIA for the construction of the international airport? He said, in quote, there isn't an EIA. What I'm aware of is there was or is an environmental statement. Lofty, an environmental statement is not as deep as an environmental assessment study. An environmental study usually, or statement, usually for a lesser project. That project of that magnitude by law would require an EIA. To this day, the government has not confirmed nor denied that there is no EIA for the construction of the international airport. So that already is a big question mark, and that's an indictment on the government of Dominica. Therefore, when the Minister of Tourism says with such audacity to say that transparency is a core pillar of the government, that is a lie. That is being dishonest. That's intellectual dishonesty, because the reality is this government has not provided any information that would be satisfied as far as the Physical Planning Act is concerned. So, on the contrary, the evidence is that this government has caused our forest to be affected. So we have dying coral reefs, we have deforestation in areas such as Dubois, which is part of the water catchment area. Lofty, anywhere in the world where a government would cause interference with a water catchment area, that government would be deemed to be crazy. So here in Dominica, we have the Tuapito as an example. The Mount Michukin, that's what you call it?
Mount Micotrin, yes.
Right, Micotrin. We have gone up there and we have done some activities. Even the geothermal stuff that we will talk about in the future. We have drilled the ground, which can facilitate poisoning of water. We have deforested. We have caused certain areas to become vulnerable to slides. You heard the HTA complaining about sedimentation, but that's in the marine area. We are causing that in Dubois as well. So I just want to say that the minister has not provided a true representation by saying that the environmental protection is a central pillar of this Dominican Labour Party government is a lie. All right. If the government was truly committed to environmental protection, there would not be a public outcry at Dubois right now. The Kalinago people, particularly, who have been using their rivers to bathe, to cook, to enjoy them. So when I say to cook, I'm talking about by the river having a little picnic. You know, the Dubois River, the Pegua River, particularly, has been part of the Kalinago's heritage. And the government did not see it fit to consult with the people before the activity at Dubois. It was an insult to the people.
Sure.
So that's one issue. Now, in terms of jobs, and then maybe you can take in some calls. Lofty,
Yes, we'll
and
open
then
up the
we'll
lines
resume.
in just a bit. Yeah, once you drive home that point. Yes.
Right. So then she speaks about jobs and the economy. All right. We agree that tourism development requires investment and infrastructure. However, the minister fails to address a fundamental truth. Sustainable economic opportunity cannot be built on the ruins of our natural resource base. The farmers who depend on healthy watersheds, the fishermen who rely on thriving marine ecosystems, the tour guides who showcase our pristine natural assets. These Dominicans are watching their livelihoods being destroyed in real time by poorly managed development projects. What jobs are we creating if we simultaneously eliminate the environmental foundations that sustain existing employment and economic activity?
Josh, there's much that we can say on the minister's response, but it is what. Thank you, Josh, for sort of touching there. I know we will spend some more time on that situation in the not too distant future as it pertains to the ongoing saga unfolding in that neck of Dominica. Folks, it is your time, and it's 26 minutes to 9 o'clock. So we are basically in the home stretch now. We're opening up our lines at this time to hear from you guys. But as we do, let's do this one from our brother saying, "Not my vote." Not my vote for this government, not one vote.
I'm tired of the politics, broken promises and gimmicks. Poor people can't take it no more, that's for sure. I'm tired of the politics. I'm tired of the politics, broken promises and gimmicks. Poor people can't take it no more, that's why this party has begun.
Yes, folks, in the interest of Dominica and Dominicans, the Dominica Labour Party have to go. They must go. It's imperative they go. But they won't go just like that. The hard work is needed. And hence the UPP is here to guide that way in terms of the hard work. So the numbers to call 449-3095, just in case you want to contribute something to the program. 449-3095, 449-3096, 3097, 616-4257. Those of you overseas, 305-432-9624.
I'm tired of the politics, broken promises and gimmicks. Poor people can't take it no more. This party has begun. This party has begun. get my vote.
Are you agreeing with us? This party, this Dominican Labour Party, have to go? Caller, yes. Good evening. You're on.
Yes, good evening, my brothers. How are you all doing, man?
Very well. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, man, it's very a breath of fresh air to hear you all tonight. One thing I want you to explain to me, and what I want you to explain to me is what you think about this award for integrity that was given to the Prime Minister and the Attorney General. How would you explain that to your listeners?
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Joshua is here. He'll deal with that in just a bit.
Get my vote. They have to vote. So take a look at this country. Look what it has been brought to. The poor are getting poorer, but the wealth is in the hands of a few. Mark my words, the judgment is coming.
A very conscious one here from this brother.
You are abused. Your reign of tyranny will soon be over. With the power of a vote, you be removed. No more excuses. They give you broken promises. You continue to disadvantage the poor. But I say no more. I'm tired of the politics.
Are you tired, Dominicans? Are we tired?
Tricks, broken promises and gimmicks. Poor people can't take it no more, that's for sure. I'm tired of the politics.
Josh, in terms of the question that the caller asked earlier, whilst we wait on some more callers.
Well, Lofty, we did miss a few calls. When I heard that the Prime Minister was awarded for integrity from the IPO, I said, as they would say in Patois, no fini bat. No fini bat. We're talking about a Prime Minister who has been embroiled in a number of questionable and controversial issues, to the point where several years ago, the IPO law had to be amended to resist the Prime Minister, amongst other public officials, from declaring their true worth or their true financial assets. We are talking about a Prime Minister who built a house in Vickers, and you probably remember the question: $1 million for what was it, for whatever
$1 million asset, 5,000 salary.
right, $1 million asset for 5,000 salary.
Josh, and remember too, as you're on that point,
Right.
right outside us there, a couple yards away,
Mhm.
we have a building in the center of town that has been built for some time now, and it has been unoccupied. No one knows in terms of the ownership thereof from a very transparent manner.
Well, yes, and I remember a journalist asked the Prime Minister a question about who owns that house, and his response was not transparent. I'm sure the Prime Minister knows who owns that house. There are several allegations that he may very well be the owner of the house, and he has somebody fronting for him. Whether that is true or not true, because we can say several things that we can presume, we can assume, but we may not have the facts. What we know as a fact is that the Prime Minister is constructing a mammoth building at Mount Daniel. And we are also aware that the house which is renting for how much? 64,000 a month? Is that it, Lofty?
We can rough it at $70,000, Josh.
A house which allegedly is owned by his buddy, Anthony Hayden. Isn't that so? There's also allegations that the house really is his. And we're aware that there are several allegations that the Prime Minister has people fronting for him as far as possession of houses, land, etc. The IPO, if anything with any salt, would represent the people of Dominica and to ask those questions to the Prime Minister. The IPO is shamefully telling Dominicans that it's awarding a Prime Minister, yet so many questions concerning the real value of the Prime Minister. So the caller who asked the question, I'm sure you'd agree with me that this is a disgrace in Dominica.
From the IPA. Josh, we have the calls are coming in now. Caller, sorry for having you hold in. You're on. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, good.
I have a question. I have noticed that this government we have had for such a long time have not been doing the work that they're supposed to be doing. I'm not pleased at all about the way they're managing the affairs of the country. But I have noticed most of the countries in the Caribbean, we have been changing government and they almost using the same method, the same traditional way of doing things. We do not have any, I would not say a revolution, but a change of everything. For example, we know about we had the ban on the preferential treatment on the European market, especially on the UK. And the UK became, have been, after a referendum, they are not a member of the European Union anymore. Now we can see all of the tariff business that is echoing in the atmosphere all over the world. You hear America is putting tariff on that one is putting a tariff on that one. No, the WTO ruling pressurized our bananas, and then they have more power and more capital to enable the banana system they have in Latin America and Central America to bypass us and put us aside. We were enslaved by the British. I'm not hearing none of our governments, especially those governments who are Anglophone governments, I mean English-speaking countries in the Caribbean. None of them are going to the British and tell them, well, yes, no, we are hearing about the tariff. We are hearing that.
All right, caller, in the interest of time, we appreciate your call, but can you just bring that point home, ask the question or questions, and then we move to another? Thank you very much.
Just one question, please. Just one question.
Yes, that's it. Go right ahead.
Question, please.
Yes.
I would like to know if the UPP comes in office, what other different methods are you going to implement to enable the economy to be a little more vibrant than it is today? Because we can see we are surviving only on tax at the customs, and we don't export as much as we used to do before.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. In the interest of time, we have to take you out. Josh, the question is from that caller in a nutshell. What is the UPP bringing to the table in terms of different style of governance to the benefit of Dominicans?
That question is a very important question, and I want to say that the UPP will legislate or enact an anti-corruption legislation as soon as it enters office. We have had
just take a pin. Let's take that call. Just note that continuation of that response. Caller, yes. Good evening to you. You're on. Be succinct, please.
Good evening to you, Lofty. Good evening to you, Francis.
Yes.
Francis.
Good evening.
Lofty, I want to place myself on record, Hillary Shillingford. I want to endorse the UPP as being a force that may be there at the opportune time. Lofty, I believe it is a critical time that the UPP is coming on the scene, because we see the way Dominica is positioning itself to fight that tyrant. We need all forces to combine, Lofty. And I know in the UPP believe in unity, UPP believe in country first, and I really want to say that I will join forces with UPP, to ensure that we work together with UWP to take that corrupt administration out. I heard Mr. Francis talking about the IPU. And I understand very well the IPU had some award ceremony. First time in the history of Dominica, I think they did that. And they recognized Roosevelt Skerrit as being what? Mr. Francis, help me. Lofty.
Go ahead, Lofty.
Words to the effect, the most diligent, one of the most diligent persons pertains to reporting and filing.
Well, let's look at the people who have given this award. The IPO is at its worst ever in the history of Dominica. Came from 7 to 5. From 5 it went down to 3. And today it is operating as 2. The 2 appointed by Roosevelt Skerrit. What do we expect from them? Cronies. Look at them and examine them well. 2 guys that well within their 80. Either 80 years and above, and let's test their mental skill. You know, it is sad that these guys would put themselves through that embarrassment. You know, they could just stay there and not talk, cash their salary, cash their $6 or whatever $1,000, $4,000. You know, Holmes is somebody that maybe should be staying his rosary. And for him to be making a whatever of himself, when his country is suffering, and you saying the Prime Minister has been declaring this and declaring that. Hyacinth, I would like to test his mental capacity. You know? I mean, that is just a shame. It is a shame to have these guys making whatever of themselves. Guys that have served the country. Even if you fail, you may have failed. But you don't have to go and bury your country. You know, so I just wanted to make my comment on that. The IPO is handicapped, it's crippled. It has been crippled by the administration. You know, and I don't want to blame just the IPO by itself, you know. The two independent candidates have messed up things for the country in terms of not having an opposition leader. Whoever advised them to be dishonest and crooked, you know, has prevented us from having an opposition leader today. And Roosevelt Skerrit is thriving on that. He's happy. Instead of trying to solve the problem, he will do nothing. So I just want to say, hold on, UPP, keep this safe. Because I wanted to report on something I saw happening, Matt. Lofty. Ahead of the delegates, I know it's not a UWP program, but when I see, while we're supposed to be uniting and fighting to move Dominica forward, a caretaker was in the Salisbury bus stop, telling the bus drivers, and they came to me worried, four of them, that Thompson may be working for Skerrit. I mean, that is such a crime for a man with a caretaker to be doing that, to bring confusion within his party. I just thought I would mention that. And I want UPP to go out there and preach the unity. Preach unity to save this country. And I'll be prepared to follow UPP. Let me get it right. I'll be prepared to follow you all guys throughout the campaign and give my support. You can count on me, brothers.
All right, my brother, thank you very much for your support and endorsement.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Hillary Shillingford. This is a huge endorsement for the UPP, and I hope all the Dominicans understand what Mr. Shillingford has just stated. UPP, in fact, supports unity. We believe that unity is strength. We are prepared to work with the United Workers' Party, the Dominican Freedom Party, and any and every other political party that understands that it is urgent that we get this Dominican Labour Party out of government sooner, better than later.
True. Yes, folks, it is still your time. We are on the home stretch, as it were, to the 9 o'clock hour. So your calls, your comments, they are all welcome.
The judgment is coming. Led by the ones that you abuse. Your love tyranny will soon be over.
Josh, you have a very bright memory, huh? Good memory. Josh reminded me he have to answer the guy. Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, well, the guy was saying what is different about UPP to the government or to any other political party. First and foremost, we believe that we have to change the direction as far as governance is concerned. For many years, we have had a plethora or significant number of controversies concerning the management of the country's resources. We have corrupt individuals in government, and therefore one of the first things that the UPP would address is corruption. We would legislate an anti-corruption law, and any public official would be found guilty under that piece of legislation would be dealt with accordingly. Not in a dictatorial manner, but in a harsh manner, because state resources are supposed to be used for all of us. State resources are not supposed to be used for the benefit of one or a few. So that is something that we'll do differently. Secondly, as far as the economic pillars of Dominica is concerned, we believe in the green economy. We believe in sustainable economic development. There are several models in the world, such as in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a country where officials used to come to Dominica to study how we manage our environment, how we manage our forest, how we manage our water. With UPP, we believe that we really have to elevate the manner in which we manage our resources. So we believe in sustainable economic development whereby we can coexist with nature to make money and at the same time to protect our environment for the future. This is what Dominica has as a gift. We have a lot of water, and therefore the water could be used to export. We don't necessarily have to do only bottled water because this is a very expensive venture. We could do mass water export, get barges of water, containers of water, and to bring to our neighboring islands and other countries requiring fresh water. Secondly, we believe in agro-processing. We believe that too much waste is in Dominica. So as a new government, we would make the best out of our resources. We would put people to work. That is very important. We would cause an increase in production of agricultural produce. Dominica is supposed to be the food basket of the Caribbean. And therefore, UPP will ensure that we provide resources for farmers to go back to the land and to get markets for those farmers. First and foremost, even as we speak, Lofty, there's a shortage of vegetables on our local market.
Yeah.
We need people to go back to the farm. UPP will provide the incentives and UPP would encourage organic farming. Lofty, we have an increasing number of cancers. So UPP believe in healthy living, not only in sustainable living, but healthy living. And therefore, we would encourage organic production. Now, some people may say organic production may not necessarily bring the funds. UPP is not only about just making money, it's about healthy living. It's about ensuring that our citizens live as long as possible, that they're healthy. We're seeing an increase in number of cancers, hypertension, amongst other things. UPP believe in good health, and therefore we'd invest more money in the health sector. We have this saying by the Dominican Labour Party. They brought in the Chinese to improve the physical infrastructure of the hospital, but the qualitative service, the qualitative structure of the hospital has dropped. Our doctors are going, our nurses are going because they're not paid properly. And therefore, UPP will ensure that salaries get to a dignified and justified manner where citizens of Dominica will feel that they work for value.
Josh,
and that
we have to have a program or two, a couple programs, really plans, policies there of UPP. Caller, yes, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
How are you?
Very well.
UPP all the way.
Thank you, sir.
I'm calling from Salisbury. Let me tell you, UPP is a party that is going to save Dominica. And UPP is about inclusion. We are ready to work with all other political parties. All other political parties. We want everybody on board. The youth, the middle age, the elderly, the farmers, the unemployed, the high-class workers. UPP want everybody on board. It is to change Dominica for betterment. So when I listened to the last speaker and he was directly on point, UPP want all farmers, we want all fishermen. Everybody is a sea of orange for UPP. You know?
All right,
UPP is the best way to go this time.
All right.
UPP wants everybody on board, and we are heading to victory. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. For yet another endorsement here. All right, folks, we are basically now, we are in sight of the finish line. So, Josh, you want to use up some of the time whilst we still wait on some of the calls just to sort of polish up some of the information tonight, read the UPP party.
Yeah, so I was addressing things that we'll do differently. First of all, we have to review the CBI program. I will not go on the record right now to say that we're going to eliminate it, but it's something that we really need to address because for every passport we sell, we are creating a new citizen and a wealthy citizen to add to it. We are living in a world of uncertainty. We are seeing threats of wars in different parts of the world. If these wealthy economic citizens were to come to Dominica, we're going to become third-class citizens. Already, Dominicans are having difficulties buying land in Roseau. Average people are having difficulty buying land in places like Wallhouse and Mont Daniel and Castibros because the demand by these wealthy people and a lot of Chinese are pushing or crowding out Dominicans. So we have to pay attention to that. So we definitely review the Citizenship by Investment program for several reasons. Secondly, over a period of time, as I said, we have to do more agro processing. We have to export. We have to produce. We have to produce more than we import. Right now, Dominica is an import country. An import country. Why would a Dominican have to go to a supermarket to buy carrots and cabbage when we have rich soils? The soil provides for healthy living. So that is something that UPP definitely would ensure we invest in agriculture, and we would definitely cause an increase in exports of our produce, because to produce means that people get to work. When we go to work, more money in circulation. More money in circulation means more small businesses will grow.
Sure. All right, caller, thank you very much. George, thank you as well. Yes, you're on. Good evening to you. Limited time. Caller.
Thank Julie for doing a great. We came from the same village. I know he's quite capable.
Caller, we did.
And one of the things that
Caller, we did not get your genesis of the statement or comment you're making. Can you just restart, please?
what I was saying is that I know Julie from very young age. We went to school together. We came from the same village. We just, took different paths. I think definitely he has the potential to in the country, and I definitely know he's not just one set of individual. I know he's definitely going to focus on the entirety of the island, but that he has to come with a different narrative. He got to get the people to understand this is what we need, because education is. I'm trying to convince the average Dominican as to what is wrong and what is right is going to be a little bit tedious. So one of the first things, once you get into power, the $64,000, take that and add that to the people that are getting $800 a month. So you got to propose something to the people to convince them to understand that this is the party that you need. But besides that, and I think that few years, I think things are going to change.
All right, caller, thank you very much for your caller here, for your calling here, for your feedback here. It's very unfortunate we did not, get the full gist of your statement, but Josh wants to respond to you. Josh, something I was made aware of tonight.
You heard Julie, right?
Julie, yeah.
Yeah, Julie. Yeah, so my granny and some other family members called me Julie, and that is how I was known in primary school and
So that's your
secondary
pet
school.
name, Josh? Julie.
Well, it eventually became part of my official name because my granny was calling me Julie, and I did my CXC with the name Julie until I went to Barbados to get my green card, and I had to present my birth certificate, and they're like, "But wait a minute, this is Joshua Francis. We don't know Julie Francis." So I had to do an affidavit of identity.
So
and
that
eventually
caller
get
knows you
Julie
very
on my
intimately,
name.
Josh.
Yes, so that caller knows me intimately. But Lofty, really, in the interest of time, we cannot possibly explore all the differences that UPP would bring to the table. I just mentioned a few. And over time, we definitely will explore different aspects of our vision for Dominica. But I want to say to our listeners tonight that we're at a very critical stage in Dominica right now. We have a Dominica where government has become a threat to the environment. We want to put on record that we are not anti-progress nor anti-development. A matter of fact, we support the construction of the international airport. However, we do not agree with the government that it needs to destroy the environment to build an international airport. An international airport that has not proven, or there is no document to show to Dominicans that the airport, upon its completion, will bring significant economic development to us. Again, this government has failed to do a proper economic assessment on the viability of the airport. However, amongst basic thinking, we would conclude that we are not going to realize any significant economic benefit from that airport should it be completed anytime in the near future. But what we are certain about is that this government has caused the construction of an airport absent an economic assessment impact study. And that is a serious indictment. We are also aware that this government has had to amend the national park laws of Dominica to facilitate the construction of the Kempinski Airport. Hotel.
Yeah.
And what is the result? This hotel is now the Continental Hotel, right? And from my understanding, it never operates at full capacity. But the consequence, we have what is called the Cuba, how do you call it? The Cuban tree frog?
Yes. I think they found traces of that.
You know that
area.
go to Dominica? Again, because this government has failed to follow regulations and laws. It allows the Chinese to bring in containers without going for quarantine. And now we have an increasing number of frogs. We had a snail issue. So that's an irresponsible government.
Josh, unfortunately, the time has come and the time has gone. So, we have to sort of bring it to a wrap tonight.
Right, so I'm going to wrap it up. Also, this government has played in the head of Dominica's environment, the Tuapito, that area, the watersheds. Any government that is so irresponsible to tamper with watersheds, that government has to go. I mean, there are a million of reasons. We have not even gone to 1,000 reasons. There are millions of reasons. But for that very reason, we need a change of government. But Lofty, let me just say good evening to all our listeners and callers. We're happy that every day which passes by, another person or group of persons join UPP. But this is not just a movement of UPP. This is a national movement. This is a movement of great significance. We have to save Dominica. So I'm calling on every listener tonight to go out and convince your brother, your sister, your uncle, your power, your mother, your father, your friends, everybody to join the voices which are rising against this government. Together we can, and together we are doing this for the people of Dominica and more so our children. Let us save Dominica. Thank you. God bless you.
On the bed, close your eyes. Freedom. See my people crying for freedom. Freedom. On the children.
Folks, so that is how we want to bring down the curtains on things tonight. Read the United Progressive Party's program.
See my people crying for freedom.
Hearing from our very own brother Nasio Fontaine.
400 years now we've been working as your slave. Why can't you free us? Let us have a separate ways. Equal rights and justice wasn't made for just one man. Even though we're free.
So thank you very much for your eyes and ears to yet another very interesting program.
Freedom of expression.
Tonight being the 13th of December 2025.
Hidden in the human rights.
You heard from the man tonight, Mr. Joshua Francis, giving you much needed information about the UPP's program and the UPP's party, to be precise. Much more information coming your way. Read that new party in Dominica. I know some of you folks are asking very pertinent questions out there as well. But you'd well imagine everything cannot be divulged in one program. So we ask you to keep it locked to the spot that you got. None other than the UPP.
We need the freedom.
So folks, that is it for Josh and I tonight. And to all of you kept us company from 7 o'clock. Thank you very, very much indeed. What's up tonight? The Calypso eliminations. So if you can, show your face in the place.
Freedom of expression.
That's in the former Coca-Cola building on what Valley Road it is, where 12 Calypsonians will go through out of 40 plus Calypsonians to perform. So Josh, your final thoughts before we go, finally.
Well, I just want once again to say good evening to Dominica. This is very important that we unite, we all hands in hands. I know people have several questions, one of which they're asking, who are the members? Who are the other members of UPP? Who are the executive? Time will tell. You will see who are the executive members. This is real. This is not a joke. This is serious business. Let us continue to work towards the end goal, and that is to remove this political cancer that is eating away Dominica. That is the Dominica Labour Party. So once again, season greetings. It's Christmas time. Lofty, I suspect that so far you have been having your sorrel juice and your fruit cake and visiting your neighbors and having a good time, right?
Yes, indeed, Josh.
Well, it's that time of the year when we have a moment of joy. We eat, we drink, and we merry. For some people, it's not very merry. Let me say, to those who don't have the money, you may not have the money, but you have love. Share the love, share the joy. Be joyous nonetheless. And let's continue to work for a better Dominica. Thank you, Lofty, and thanks to the listeners. God bless.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment, then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for progress.
Today I never give up the war. It's not in my blood. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently abled? Are you interested in small business, education,